So here's a DPS analysis of some of the combos for Sword and Shield in the Monster Hunter Wilds beta. And I'm just going to cover the main combos that I thought were interesting, so you know which combos you can do for the most damage. This list is by no means exhaustive. It's probably going to change with the final release of the game when we get elemental damage, but here's a first take so that you can start doing the most damage as much as possible. So the first two contenders are the gap closers, which are Advancing Slash and the new addition to Monster Hunter Wilds, which is the Sliding Swipe. Advancing Slash is done by pressing the two attack buttons at the same time, while Sliding Swipe is done by holding guard and then pressing Y, and your hunter will go into a slide and do a pretty strong hit. So this was actually surprised me because I thought Sliding Swipe would come out on top as the most damage efficient option for a gap closer, because the motion value on that second hit is quite high. But the developers were extremely smart on how they designed these two gap closers. So you can see here the DPS for Advancing is 35.8, while the DPS for Sliding Swipe is 24.4. And the reason the DPS on Sliding Swipe is actually less than the DPS on Advancing is because it actually takes longer for you to do this whole slide and the attack compared to Advancing. Advancing is much quicker, but here's the genius behind the developers. Advancing Slash only covers a very short distance, while Sliding Swipe covers a much farther distance. So it's very situational on where you should use things. If you have to cover a short distance to get to the monster, then use Advancing. And if that distance is too far, Advancing Slash is going to miss, you're going to be doing 0 damage, right? So in that case, you use Sliding Swipe instead to gap close. So Sliding Swipe is not useless. It's actually really dependent on the situation. So you should be using both for gap closing. All right, next let's look at the Y combo and the B combo. For PlayStation, it's going to be the triangle combo for the Y combo, and it's going to be the circle combo for the B combo. The Y combo is basically the chop side, it's the 4-hit combo, and the B combo is lateral return, spinning rising. And for both of these combos, you can do a spinning reaper at the very end, and spinning reaper does a lot of damage in this game. It's one of the highest motion values. Not only that, they actually decreased the recovery frames on spinning reaper compared to Rise, because in Rise the recovery frames were so high and you couldn't really combo or do anything after that, so it pretty much ended your combo there. It was actually useless in Rise because there's an infinite combo that you could just keep going and it was really fast to do, so that pretty much made spinning reaper obsolete. But I think in this game it's actually not obsolete. You actually want to hit as many spinning reapers as possible because it has a much lower recovery on it. For both the Y combo and the B combo, you can do a spinning reaper. In order to do a spinning reaper, you actually have to do the full Y combo or the full B combo, and then you can finish those with the spinning reaper. So for these two entries, I actually included the spinning reaper in the full combo. So for the Y combo, we have a DPS of 39, and for the B combo, we have a DPS of 43.3. So you would think, okay, I'm just going to do a B combo because B combo does more damage. Well, that's not exactly true. Remember, this is kind of the same situation as the Advancing Slash and the Sliding Slash and the Sliding Swipe gap closers, where it's very situational, because when you really think about it, these DPSs are pretty even, but you use them in different situations. Because the Y combo, you can adjust and sidestep side to side. You have like a burst of speed where you can move some distance left, right, forward, back, etc. Whereas the B combo, you can't do that. You are completely stationary. Your feet are planted on the ground, and you're going to do your lateral return, spinning reaper. So if you're in the situation where you're completely stationary, yes, you should do the B combo because it does more damage. However, if you need to adjust slightly so that you can actually land those hits, then you should do the Y combo into spinning reaper. Especially if the B combo situation, you're gonna miss one of those hits, because if you miss one of those hits in that B combo, your DPS is gonna tank. Whereas if the Y combo, you're able to hit every single hit, then that DPS will be superior to the B combo. So again, this is very smart design by the developers. Both combos have their uses and you should be using both. Another thing to consider is that in the B combo, one of the hardest hits to hit in the B combo is the return, which is the second hit in the B combo. And the reason it's so hard to hit is because it's a completely vertical slash, and completely vertical slashes are always very hard to hit. You want some horizontal slicing motion, and that will just increase your chance of hitting. And what has horizontal slicing motion? Well, every single hit in the Y combo has a little bit angle to it, especially the third and fourth hits in the Y combo. Y combo has a very high chance of hitting things, while the B combo is actually a little bit harder to hit. All right, let's go to the very big meaty damage long combos. So historically, it was Perfect Rush, especially in Monster Hunter World. In Monster Hunter World, Perfect Rush 1, which is the first part part of Perfect Rush did so much damage that people just spammed that to oblivion, where they would just Perfect Rush 1, Perfect Rush 2, roll cancel, Perfect Rush 1, and Perfect Rush 2, roll cancel. And they actually kind of fixed that in Rise, where they actually nerfed Perfect Rush 1. So that was a good start. But how does it play out for Wilds? Well, if you do it from a backstep and you do go all the way to Perfect Rush 3, the DPS is actually not that good at 33. And the reason why the DPS is so low, because the amount of time it takes to actually do the initial backstep is gimping your DPS, right? It's just spending more time and you're not actually doing damage with the backstep. So here I also did the analysis for when you start the leaping slash, which is the move after the backstep right before Perfect Rush. So if you start from the leaping slash, then the DPS is a little bit better at like 40. If you just go to Perfect Rush 3, if you go all the way to Falling Bash, it's 37.5. This move is going to be a little bit longer than Perfect Rush 3. So just because this is a 40 and this is a 37.5, you shouldn't compare them because one takes longer, so they're not comparable. And I'll make another video on why that is the case. Another combo we have here is a Leaping Slash to Perfect Rush 2 to Spinning Reaper to Charge Chop. And this one's interesting. It's 37 DPS as well. So, you know, they're all kind of the same, but there's actually one combo that rules them all. And believe it or not, it's not Perfect Rush. Perfect Rush is actually not that good in this game. The combo that rules them all is the infinite charge chop combo. And how you do it is you just start it with a chop and then you go directly into a charge chop and then you can do a rising out of that charge chop. And then you can do another charge chop, and then you can do a rising, and then charge chop, and then rising, and charging. And you just keep, and you can do that infinitely. And its DPS as it comes out at 45.6, which is higher than all of the Perfect Rush combos. So the new move, charge chop, is actually very strong, and Perfect Rush may not have a place in the game anymore. But we'll have to see until elemental damage comes out to see if Perfect Rush makes it back into the game. But with charge chop right now and its flexibility, you can do charge chop after any move, and its damage is respectable, and that's the reason why it's doing so much damage right now. Like when the monster is toppled, normally you'd see people go into Perfect Rush, right? But you don't even have to do that anymore. You can just do charge chop rising, charge chop rising, charge chop rising on repeat until the monster gets up. Now this combo, again, it's really good for when the monster is toppled, and you can get away with some charge chop risings in some very small openings when the monster's on his feet. But for the most part, if the monster's throwing jabs at you, you can't really do this combo because charge chop does still have a pretty high commitment to it. But again, if the monster's not focused on you and you have like a 5-second window or a little bit more than that, you could just go into a charge chop rising, and that's actually very DPS efficient. So you'll see some players, they're already trying to fit in as many charge chops as possible, even in as small windows as possible. Now, if you don't have very large windows, of course, it's always safer to just stick with your Y combos and your B combos, because you can always terminate those combos after whether it's the second hit or the third hit, just so you can go back to playing defense. These are the findings. Let me know what combos you want me to analyze in the comments. Thanks for watching.